Madam Speaker, normally when I stand here, I tend to complain and raise issues of concern. Even in the brief report I'm going to read here, there's a few complaints and concerns. Allow me to also begin by complimenting government. I don't do this often. So I also want to compliment government for providing security to the demonstrators we saw yesterday. It's a good thing when the constitution is followed to the letter. I don't agree with the reason they were demonstrating and some of the language used because they were threatening to beat up some members and so on. I hope police now investigate some of those indiscipline cases that happened within a peaceful protest, yeah? But the idea of Ugandans peacefully protesting and they are protected is a good thing. I hope that government will keep doing this for all other intending protesters. So government, today we have given you your flowers. Even though I learned that as those who were peacefully demonstrating and were protected by police, there are some others who are even much fewer that were being beaten up. So please don't put us in a difficult situation. We want to keep giving you flowers every so often, yeah? Keep doing that. Honorable Speaker, I rise to present a very brief report on an oversight visit that I carried out together with the shadow ministers to Inspire Africa Coffee Factory. The Office of the Leader of the Opposition organized an oversight visit to Inspire Africa Coffee Factory in Ntungamo district. I undertook this oversight visit on 11th December 2024 together with shadow ministers. The visit was in line with Section 6E1 of the Administration of Parliament Amendment Act of 2005 that empowers the leader of the opposition to play the oversight role and keep the government in check. During the financial year 2023-2024, government undertook to establish a tertiary hub for last mile coffee value addition in Ntungamo district through the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat in the Office of the President under a private partnership arrangement with the Coffee Investment Consortium Uganda and Inspire Africa Coffee, both privately registered entities. The construction of this coffee value addition facility began in October of 2023 and had been projected to be completed by December 2024. We were told that the factory is expected to produce various coffee products, including instant coffee, drip coffee, malt coffee, coffee energy drinks, as well as beauty cosmetics. However, since this strategic government intervention was initiated, various stakeholders as well as policymakers have expressed concerns with respect to the implementation arrangements. Some of these concerns include: 1, rationale followed to establish this coffee value addition factory in Ntungamo. Number 2, the selection criteria followed to procure the private investor. 3, the reason behind the decision by government to support the building of a factory, a coffee factory in Ntungamo district, while not paying attention to other areas known to produce a lot of coffee in Uganda. 4, capital investment. The exact amount of money that the government of Uganda is injecting into this project, because that's not known yet. And 5, projected economic benefits in terms of the anticipated employment opportunities as well as export revenues. Therefore, the primary objective of this oversight visit was to further interrogate and verify all matters related to the above mentioned concerns as elaborated briefly before. During the financial year 2023, government earmarked and allocated 37 billion shillings, that's about $10 million US, in the national budget to support coffee value chain development under a newly created vote 167 in the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat in the Office of the President. Also, according to the annual budget estimates of financial year 2024-2025, an additional 75 billion was provided for in the corrigenda to the budget for financial year 2024-2025 and approved by Parliament to support coffee value addition initiatives. To date, a total of 112 billion shillings has been appropriated by Parliament towards support to coffee value addition initiatives. Some of these initiatives include promotion of Uganda coffee globally through coffee trade hubs and establishment of a tertiary hub for last mile coffee value addition in Ntungamo district, implemented by Inspire Africa Coffee, which according to Mr. Nelson Tugume, the proprietor, is at an estimated cost of 122 million US dollars. That's about 451 billion Uganda shillings. It is important to note that these coffee value addition initiatives are not directly implemented by government, but rather through partnerships, such as the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development, that is chaired by Mr. Odrek Ruabwogo, the Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Duties. There is also the Coffee Investment Consortium, a privately registered entity comprising of about 21 coffee companies interested in promoting coffee production and providing value addition in the coffee value chain, and Inspire Africa Coffee, an affiliate of Inspire Africa Group, a human resource organization initially established primarily to address the challenges of youth unemployment on the African continent. Government argues that the initiatives will significantly increase the country's coffee export earnings through export promotion of processed, ready-to-drink coffee instead of the raw coffee beans. However, since the above highlighted coffee value addition initiatives were earmarked and subsequently funded by government, various stakeholders as well as policymakers have expressed serious accountability, legal and policy concerns with regard to the implementation arrangement of these initiatives. Therefore, it was paramount to further interrogate and verify all matters related to the implementation of these initiatives, to ascertain their feasibility and value for public funds in line with the existing legal and policy frameworks. Let me run through the areas of concern, Right Honorable Speaker. 1, funding and transparency queries. In the financial year 2023-2024, the government of Uganda allocated resources through the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat under the Office of the President towards the establishment of a modern industrial coffee park in Rashamire Town Council, Ntungamo district. We found that there is no memorandum of understanding between the government of Uganda and this private entity. So the manner in which money was extended to this entity is not clear. Honorable Speaker and colleagues, it is wrong for taxpayers' money to be spent without any clearly defined binding relationship between the government and any entity, and in this case, Inspire Africa Coffee, and no documentation whatsoever. The proprietor told us that there is a co-investment arrangement that was ongoing between the parties, that's government and them, but there was no clarity on whether this arrangement would result into a joint shareholding, a grant arrangement, or a bailout. We recommend as follows, together with my colleagues. 1, government should come out clearly on the relationship that is existing between Inspire Africa Coffee and government that warranted the disbursement of public funds to this private entity. Number 2, Parliament should stop any further disbursements to this entity until a clear and rational memorandum of understanding is reached at between government and this entity. Number 3, government ought to come out with a clear procedure on how private entities can get government support. Uganda has a lot of young and innovative entrepreneurs who only lack funding. If the government comes out clearly on the formalities, then more Ugandans could benefit as opposed to just a few. The other concern is unfulfilled government commitments. Uganda is currently the leading coffee exporter in Africa and the second largest coffee producer in Africa, having exported 6.13 million bags in financial year 2023-2024, valued at over 1.14 billion US dollars. In order to handle the value additional call, government stipulated under the National Development Plan, NDP3, that 2 modern industrial coffee factories would be established, one in Bugisu and another one in Buganda, because these are the highest coffee growing regions in the country. These 2 factories were to be constructed by the end of June 2025, when NDP3 would lapse. This was a commitment by government in NDP3. We are coming to the conclusion of NDP3, and Parliament has even passed NDP4. But these plans have not seen the light of day, Right Honorable Speaker. It begs the question, why did government prioritize a private plant in Ntungamo specifically, which is part of Uganda, fine, yet it did not even attempt to implement and fulfill the commitment made in NDP3, which was passed by Parliament? Honorable Speaker, government should budget for as a recommendation and embark on fulfilling the commitment it made in NDP 3 to build a coffee factory in Bugisu and Central regions. The capacity of Inspire Africa Coffee Factory is small compared to the magnitude of the coffee produced in different parts of the country. Besides, it's not practical to expect farmers to transport their coffee from far-flung districts in the country to Ntungamo for processing. The third concern was uncertainty about the exact amount of money so far injected into this project by government. During our visit, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the proprietor was unclear about how much money government has so far injected into this project. So it becomes difficult to establish the return on investment that the taxpayer will get. For as long as this information is unavailable or kept as a secret, people will keep raising eyebrows about this project. In the quest for accountability, we ought to start by being open about how much money has been injected in this project. There should not be anything to hide by government. The recommendation, Honorable Speaker, is that government should explain to Parliament and to the country how much money has so far been injected into this project, the terms of agreement, how the taxpayer will get value for their tax money. The proprietor said the factory will be completed in March of this year. That's next month. I don't know if that is going to happen. We are waiting. And begin full operations the same month, next month. Assuming that gets to happen, the cost-benefit analysis of investing in this entity should be examined. We need to know. There should be clear terms on what is likely to accrue from this investment. Every coin of taxpayers' money injected into this project must be accounted for because it's taxpayers' money. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, let me state this for the umpteenth time. The idea of government bailing out or offering support to private companies is not a bad one in and of itself. The problem has been that for each of the private companies given money, there's no clear procedure on how this gets to be done. And Right Honorable Speaker, I've tabled those reports here. Atiak Sugar Factory, Day Biopharma, Rocco, and so on and so forth. Additionally, there is never agreement signed between the government and these private entities to spell out the terms and conditions of the support extended. Most disturbingly is that there is usually no value for the money extended to these entities after several years. For as long as these concerns are not attended to, usage of taxpayers' money will continue to be shrouded in mystery. And there will always be suspicion about these bailouts, given that they are accessed by a few people who probably have connections in government. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Leader of Opposition. The House, you've heard what the Leader of Opposition is saying. Doug, we need a proper memorandum of understanding with the people we are giving money. We need to understand what government is doing, whether we are buying shares, whether we are giving them money just to support them. We need an MOU. And then I also want the Committee of Finance, Agriculture, Trade, Budget to take note of the concerns that have been raised by the Leader of Opposition since we are going into the budgeting process. Prime Minister, you have something? On what? You've just come. You've just come. It is not, we are not debating this report. I am telling them to take note of the concerns. This is an oversight report that has been brought by law. It is opening your eyes.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank Law for those concerns. We've taken note, and as you've directed, Minister of Finance, Minister of Agriculture will be here to give
committees.
The answers.
Committees.
The committees, yes.
Sectoral committees.
To give answers for the questions raised. Thank you.
We actually want them to take note of the issues that are being raised. And on the issues that are being raised, they must report to Parliament, the committees, when they are doing that. Because if Inspire Africa gets money from government, then they should be able to go there and see what is happening. But that first we must regularize the relationship between Inspire and government and Uganda. Yes. Honorable members, in the public gallery this afternoon we have a delegation of Africa Friendship Association from Istanbul, Turkey. You're most welcome. Thank you for coming. You're welcome to Parliament of Uganda. Have a seat. They are here to witness our proceedings. Then thank you. Next, yes, Jonah.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I've been here and the leader of the opposition has had so many of these oversight visits, and he has been producing good reports to this House. Without prejudice to your ruling, I would suggest, Madam Speaker, that you do a formal referral of this report to those committees formally, so that the leader of the opposition can make further submissions and clarifications on these particular issues. And then the committees can therefore formally report. If we allow them to just take note of these issues, we may lose track of the particular issues. It will also help us, Madam Speaker, follow up with your own plea to us. When we were passing some of the budgets in supplementary, I recall you made an undertaking and said, honorable members, please, let's do it for the last time, and we are going to follow up. And we listened to you, Madam Speaker, during that plea. So my issue is to request you to formally have these matters referred so that the committees can do a thorough job. And next time they come here for money, maybe we will not have that pulling of string, because issues would be clear that A, B, C, D has already been dealt with, Madam Speaker.
Doug?
Right Honourable Speaker, I'm seeking a clarification. While Honourable Dur is requesting that you formally make a referral of all the reports that the Right Honourable Leader of Opposition has presented before Parliament to the relevant committees. I'm sure myself and my colleagues in Parliament, we cannot off-head tell which reports he has presented, because he has done this over time.
Let me help you in that one.
Yeah, I wanted to request that maybe we be given a list, we get to know which is which.
Let me help you in that one.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Leader of Opposition has been doing an oversight in most of this attack, they now Inspire, Rocco. Did you do Rocco? Yes. Leader of Opposition, I want to request you kindly to bring all those reports and lay them on table tomorrow, and we formally refer them for further action. In Luboa, it doesn't have.
Honourable Speaker, you said that Luboa, we shall wait for your report, and the Deputy Speaker, so I am thanked as official, but we are waiting for you. Honourable Speaker, I actually have laid all those reports before, but I will lay again tomorrow. I have no problem at all. We shall print again, and we lay. Because you see, in the past, for each of those, you kept tasking government to come back and respond. And they have not. But just for the avoidance of doubt, tomorrow I will be here and I will lay again, right, Honourable Speaker?
Yes. Let it be a substantive item. Reports of oversight from the Leader of Opposition. Thank you. Next item.
Item 5 on the order paper. Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee on Rules, Privileges and Discipline on the review of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament.
Honourable members, You may recall that on Wednesday, 5th February 2025, the chairperson of Committee of Rules, Privileges and Discipline, Honorable Katuntu Abudu, presented a report of the committee on the review of the rules of procedure of Parliament. As you are aware, rules are always reviewed depending on the environment. The presiding officer deferred the debate to accord members adequate time to study the report. And I am convinced the 4 days have been sufficient enough for you to study the report and understand the report, and also understand the proposals that have been made by the committee. I now want to call upon the House I want to call upon the House. We open a debate on that. Yes, Ebwalu.
Madam Speaker.
Honourable members, what you're going to debate is not going to form the changes in clauses. We will have to go to committee stage and look at a clause by clause and put your input in that clause. The debate is on the report, just like we always handle. Yes.
Madam Speaker, like you rightly put it, we had the 4 or 5 days to go through the report, and I would propose that we move straight to committee stage so that we can follow clause by clause in details. Yes. Yes. You wait. Wait. No, wait. Yes.
They've given you the floor. Can I use your floor?
Honourable members, remember, if you're going to debate the report, it's okay, but we shall limit now on the what? On the at committee stage. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
Madam Speaker, the honorable colleagues did not understand me. It is at committee stage that we shall have sufficient time to discuss clause by clause. Because what's going to happen now, we are going into general debate, we shall not have sufficient time.
Is that seconded? Is that second? Honorable members, honorable members, I wish you could understand what Jonathan is saying. Jonah, you help your namesake. Jonah, help your namesake, being senior.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name was even mentioned in this report, and there's something that was said. Actually, the chair called me. You remember one time I raised the issue of the committee.
So what is the procedure matter?
That's what I want to raise, Madam Speaker. I raised the issue of the Committee on Human Rights coming to the opposition, and you directed this House that at one time we invited the leader of opposition, the Attorney General, Doug, and me, plus the Prime Minister, to see how we forge away what exercise should be carried, because I was saying that the Committee on Human Rights is an accountability committee. But incidentally, I was not invited to appear before the committee to give my position. And my good friend, Honorable Abdu, to whom I emulated to become a lawyer, he said he invited me. I said no. He said the leader of opposition was informed. I was not informed. And that component of the Human Rights Committee, I would pray, if possible, that it should be saved for that reason, because we did not appear to give our position, yet you are directed, Madam Speaker. And there are many issues I want to talk about Human Rights Committee being headed by the opposition.
Honorable members, I also want to instill discipline in us. If the matter is concerning somebody in opposition, you should discuss that matter with a leader of opposition, so that the leader of opposition is able to transmit it to his member or whichever. Yes, Honorable Abudu.
It is true. I would like to confirm that I called my friend, the Honorable Gozanga Seungu, complaining about remarks he had made to a radio station. Right, Honorable Speaker, and the record is clear. Before we began this process, I did direct the clerk to the committee to formally invite, one, the leader of government business, the government chief whip, all chairpersons of committees, the leader of opposition, the opposition chief whip, and all whips, plus all members of parliament, all, including Honorable Seung, all of you, in writing, and all your documents were deposited in your pigeon holes. All, yes, yes, because the first time we met, except the office of the clerk had responded, I directed the second time. And during the second time, I emphasized, actually, especially the office of the leader of opposition, the government chief whip, and the leader of government business, that they should actually even sign for it and prove to me that actually that served. None of them replied. None. Twice. And we had adjourned the meetings twice because of non-response. Two, there are members who did, and that include the Honorable Dr. Lulume Baiga, the Honorable Opendi, the Honorable Mavenjina, and I think we have put them in the report. They replied. They responded to the communication we did. So it is being disingenuous. It's not fair